right, everybody.
What's going on, guys? What's going on, everybody? This is the Breaking Brews podcast.
This is the Breaking Brews podcast. There it is. There it is. There it is.
We're back.
Yeah, something like that. Making up words on the podcast.
Like John Williams. I almost said John Cena.
I know. She grew up in a Kava bar.
All right, it's that time of the week again. This is the Breaking Brews podcast, episode 25.
Yeah.
We are at that quarter of 100 episodes. I am your host, Mikey 2.
And I'm your co-host, Lauren Olivia.
There we go. Second time's a charm.
Yeah. You know us, we always have technical difficulties
So
every once in a while.
we recorded for about 7 minutes before we realized the camera wasn't rolling. So,
Yeah.
you know, what can we
At least
say?
we found out then versus like an hour later.
We're a little bit nervous today. We are at the number one Kava bar
We
in the Treasure
are.
Coast. We are out here at Rooted Reef in Fort Pierce, Florida. And before we did this episode, we walked around the downtown area, and it's gorgeous.
Yeah,
they have a
good
really
vibes.
nice harbor, super pretty city. The theater was giant. I love the theater. The theater's gorgeous. But I'm really excited to be here. We're gonna be switching up our format a little bit, and so today's gonna be our first episode where we test out some stuff for the new episode, the new format. And what that means is we're gonna be going from a podcast to a late night show. And what that means is as you could hear in the beginning, we are going to be accompanied by a live musician every single week. And this week we're joined by Jacob Jerome, or JD Music. And he's going to be playing the guitar for us in and out of segments. And then after we're done taping, he's actually going to get to do a little concert for his local Kava bar. This is his place he's always at.
That's awesome.
We literally wouldn't have been able to get in here if it wasn't for Jacob. So we really appreciate him. And But we're also joined by another Jacob. We're joined by my Jake from Nice to Meet You. You guys have seen him on a couple episodes here. But, I'm really excited. Lauren, what are you drinking?
I am drinking their mango mocktail, and you know what was super cool about this, Mikey, is the bartender literally went outside and got fresh mint to put into the mojito.
They did the same thing. So she has the mojito with mint. I have the strawberry basil.
That looks
yeah,
really
it
good.
threw me off because she was at the bar and she went and I was like, what's your most popular mocktail? And she's like, probably the strawberry basil. And I was like, okay, I'll have that. And then I saw her walk away from the bar. I was like, okay, whatever. And then she walks in with a handful of herbs. I'm like, oh, whoa, that's crazy. Like, I've never seen that
super
before.
Fresh.
And at the end of the year, we're gonna be doing our Battle of the Bars, a little friendly competition between all the bars we go out to and tape at, where we test the best tasting kava, best mocktails, and the best theming. And I will say here, this is a very nautical themed, very artistic kava bar. There's paintings everywhere. They painted every wall on their building. It's really crazy. We'll try and get some footage of that.
It's beautiful. Absolutely beautiful.
Their sign over there is gorgeous, the Rooted Reef sign.
Yeah, they have a lot
Ray.
of wood artwork, which I really appreciate.
And all the artwork here is for sale. Like, that's really cool, and it's a local artist. I'm just so excited to be here. The drinks taste great. I mean, Lauren's got a great drink. I got a great drink.
It's definitely up there on my mocktail list.
Yeah, and that's one thing, man. If you want to support this kava bar and you've been out here before and you think that this is the best themed kava bar, best tasting kava, best tasting mocktails, we're going to be putting up a poll thing for you guys to vote. We'll have the people's vote as well as our choice because we go all over the place. We're not biased towards one bar.
Yeah. So
we're the best people to judge it. We're not affiliated with any kava bars. But, we're going to hop right into our first segment. This is our segment we like to call, first segment we like to call This or That, where we take two topics. We talk about this or that and which we like better and why. And then we invite some people from the community to come out here. So we're going to get right into it. First question of the day is going to be, since I like to theme questions around where we're at, we're in a port city, so I'm sure there's... I know they're pretty close to Skydive DeLand, or not Skydive Sebastian.
I've heard of that.
I'm sure there's probably skydiving in Vero, I would assume.
There is.
So we're pretty close to Vero. We're about probably 15 minutes from Vero. And they also, I'm sure, have scuba diving out, deep sea scuba diving.
Yeah.
So our first question for the This or That segment is, which would you rather learn? Would you rather learn to skydive or scuba dive? Two kinds of diving, but One's more dangerous than the other, and
I love adrenaline, but skydiving, I would probably pass out.
really, you think so?
I think
we'll
I
tandem
would.
skydive you so that way you don't die.
No, that's probably even worse.
Oh man.
So I'd have to pick scuba diving. And I've actually kind of scuba dived before, but it was in a pool.
Really? How so?
Just to.
You mean snorkeling?
No, actual scuba
Oh,
diving.
really? Scuba
One of my
diving,
dad's
okay.
friends had like a bunch of scuba gear, and he let me put on like the mask and the whole tank and everything. And I went and sat at the bottom of his pool.
How does that feel? Does it feel cool? I've never done that.
Yeah, it's no different really than snorkeling. Besides, you just have a big tank on
Well,
your
does
back.
it feel weird to be able to breathe underwater?
Yeah, it does. To be
I
down
feel like
there
that's got to
for
be
that long.
disorienting.
Yeah, and my coworker, he actually is big on scuba diving with him and his wife. And I was just texting a professor today. I was like, hey, just want to see how you were doing because he's in retirement now.
Yeah.
And he's like, it was funny that you brought this up because he's actually been scuba diving every weekend.
Really?
Yeah. So a lot of people enjoy it down here, and I don't know. I love animals. I love seeing the sea life. So.
You know, I love skydiving. Jordan, he's been on the podcast before. He works at the Burn Botanicals.
Yes.
He was on our episode where we did a taste test episode. He is getting his license, and he's been skydiving probably 4 times a week.
That's insane.
He's been doing it solo. It's really cool. He takes videos. I'll hit him up and see if I can't get him to shoot us some videos.
Have you ever seen those videos where they'll throw a car outside of a cargo plane and then they'll all skydive on the car?
What?
Yeah.
And I have a video of me
Really?
skydiving.
I never knew this
and
about you,
I
Mikey.
love skydiving.
I need
But
to see this
okay.
video. You better put it in the...
I will say though,
video.
I would love to learn to scuba dive. Like I feel like scuba diving is way more dangerous because realistically, there's no backup. If your oxygen tank goes out, bro, you have to.
I think they do have some sort of backup, right?
I'm sure they have like a reservoir, but like okay, if you think about it like this, most parachuters and skydivers have like 2 backup chutes. On top of that, whenever you're underwater, scuba diving, you can't raise to the surface too quickly, or you'll literally get a brain hemorrhage and die. Or if you a shark attacks you. There's only so much you can do under that deep underwater.
Yeah.
But I am totally willing to take that risk. Who knows? Maybe if we ever get an episode where we get to go to
That'd
Hawaii,
be pretty cool.
let's do it. We'll skydive and scuba dive in Hawaii.
Yeah, that'd be sick. I'll have to suck it up for the podcast, guys.
It's a lot of fun. So I would probably say scuba diving is probably my deal.
Yeah, I'd love to just see a beautiful reef with like all the fish and see like the nurse sharks and stuff.
Well, I'm gonna go grab our first person, and Jacob, you want to play us into that? We'll go get our first guest.
Let me get up.
Yeah. Our plans have been through a lot today.
Hi, my name is Tanner. I usually tell people to just call me Dirty as a nickname, but I learned like over time, like not everybody should just call me Dirty. Some people call me Dirty, and I'm like, actually, just call me Sir. I work here at the Rooted Reef in downtown Fort Pierce. I've been a member of the Kava community in the Tri-County area for about 6 years now. It's something that's really changed my life for the better, and it's kept me out of a lot of trouble. I'm a big believer in Kava and, the botanicals that we sell here. I've seen a lot of people come through here, all different walks of life, and, great.
Awesome. It's
many
great.
success.
Yeah, it's great to have you on. So the
Thank you.
question for the this or that segment
Right.
is, would you rather learn how to scuba dive or skydive, and why?
So, growing up in Fort Pierce, I've always been on the water my whole life. I love to surf and just, get out on the beach and get in the sunlight. So, scuba diving would probably be my first choice. 'Cause
Yeah,
I'm
for sure.
terrified of heights.
That's what I was just telling Mikey.
Terrified.
I would be terrified, absolutely terrified. My uncle told me he went skydiving and he'd never ever do it again. He's like, that's the worst thing I've ever experienced in my life, and he's an adrenaline junkie.
Have you ever met somebody who's like fresh off of getting trained to go skydiving and then they actually do it for the first time? Have you ever heard anybody talk about
No. Imagine just it's your first time being on your own, you just jump out and you think you're ready for it, and then you just pass out.
that? They have like a glaze in their eyes. they're
a little fearful.
yeah,
They don't think they can do it themselves.
And I can't believe I just did that, but like it's like they have a newfound sense of life. So I don't know, maybe I would skydive to just get over that fear of heights, but I don't think it would.
I feel like as I age, I'm becoming more and more afraid of heights
I
for
can't
some
even
reason.
go to water parks at all. Like even like climbing up a water park ride, like the stairs, and it's all slippery, and there's like little freaking kids
Yeah,
on it.
yeah.
I feel like I'm gonna fall off.
But
Can't do it.
have you seen those videos where like people will push a car out on like a cargo plane, and then the skydivers will like jump into the car as it's like falling?
Hell no. If I'm going skydiving though, I'm doing that specifically.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for coming on. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Nice to meet you.
Come to Rooted Reef, downtown Fort Pierce. See me, man.
Alrighty. Well, I'm really glad you got to meet Tanner. I've met Tanner. I came out here and spent probably a good 2-3 hours hanging out with him a couple months ago.
Yeah, he seems like a cool dude.
Super chill. Probably one of the most inviting Kava tenders I'd met. First experience with somebody. Like, that's somebody you want to have in your bar whenever when you're just owning a Kava bar, that's somebody you want to have. Somebody that it's almost like, whenever I first met him, it's like I'd known him for years. And that's that's the perfect Kava tender. And, we love to see the
warm welcoming.
Yeah, the warm welcomes. Yeah. Well, we're going to get into our next question. Our next question is, which do we like better, LaCroix or Liquid Death?
I absolutely hate LaCroix.
Oh, yeah. I heard the L, and I forgot they both start with L's. I was like, no!
I love Liquid Death, like with a passion.
Very rarely do Lauren and I agree on something.
I just think it's such a good message and such great ingredients. I know they're very set on like coming up with an alternative cool drink for people to drink that's not full of sugar, that's not full of artificial chemicals and flavors. I just really appreciate the message behind it. And not only is the message great, but
it tastes amazing.
The drinks taste really great. And I've never been a fan of sparkling water.
Me either.
Whatsoever. But this is like something that doesn't even taste like a club soda.
I hate club
not
soda.
even
I
close.
hate LaCroix.
It's something you can actually enjoy. And it takes a lot for me to drink a lot of water constantly. So I appreciate
you're pretty bad about that.
I'm really bad about that. So I appreciate like something flavorful that's good and healthy for me. That's still water. Please sponsor us.
Yeah, please. Seriously, I will say, for the band and for like the podcast, I told people there's only 3 sponsors I've ever really wanted. One was Mitra, one was Liquid Death, and one was Ritz Cheese Crackers. Ritz, hit me up, but Liquid Death hit us up first, because we went to that show with Fred in St. Petersburg, and that stage was built by Liquid Death.
Really?
You're doing a shell call. That's
I
really
didn't
cool.
know that stage was awesome. Like with the oak trees. And
what are the odds that we're filming an episode on St. Patty's Day?
Yeah.
We got I got my
to
green
be
headband.
festive.
I ruined this shirt on the way here.
He tried cutting the sleeves off, but ended up cutting up the whole shirt.
What can I say? Never claimed to be a professional. What's it called whenever somebody works with clothes and cloths?
Like seamstress.
Yeah, I'm a rookie. You got me.
Yeah. But
Mr.
yeah, I have to
Jacob
say,
Jerome.
I can really see the community here and how everybody is like one big family.
It's crazy. So Jacob moved down here probably about a year ago, I'd say. He moved down here a year ago, but he was really involved in the open mic scene and the Kava community up back near our house. And that's how I met Jacob. It was probably like 2.5, 3 years ago I met him. And we didn't really start talking until that 3rd year. I had known him for a little bit longer, but we genuinely started talking about 3 years ago. And we got the Bula call. Bula! I also like they have a big bell over there that they hit.
I'm
whenever
starting to feel this mocktail.
Are
and
you?
It is great.
I am feeling a little bit. I had a Mitra on the way here, but I'm feeling really good because this morning when I woke up, I had Tiave. Tiave. They have butterscotch.
Oh,
like a
yeah,
butter
that
beer.
is a good one. I did taste test that.
I've been drinking that a lot lately. I love, dude, Tiave is so good.
It
And
is,
because it
it
doesn't
is.
taste like tea. It tastes just like whatever you're drinking.
Yeah.
And like, you
It's
know,
so good, it's dangerous. It literally, it tastes like juice.
it's the best, man. I
It's
love
really
whenever
great.
you can't taste the bitterness in a tea because it makes it more pleasant, you know?
It does.
And I like the strength because I can have one of those and be good for the whole day.
Yep.
It's really great. We love Tiave. Tiave's really been a great part of this. Everett was supposed to come with us today, but he got super busy.
That's
Everett's
okay.
the owner, but we're going to be having Everett on here soon to kind of talk about some Tiave stuff. But yeah, well, so I guess our final choice is, I would say Liquid Death.
Yeah. Liquid,
Well,
hard liquid death.
I'm trying to remember the name of it is, but mine's the melon one. The melon one is my
I
favorite.
love the cherry obituary, and before that, it was, I think it's mango chainsaw, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mango
that
Chainsaw.
one's really great.
I just love the names, man. Like we're like talk about like unique.
Yeah.
Like, that's
they
pretty
also
crazy.
did like a makeup line. I think it was Liquid Death X. What is that face paint? It's like the metal face paint. It was really interesting, but it was just super cool to see.
Well, good stuff. Well, I will have you grab. I wish I would have got her name.
The one with the puppy?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Go grab her, and Jacob will play us out. Alrighty. Well, we are joined by Miss Mandy. Mandy seems to be the life of the party here today. Mandy was, before we started filming, was hosting trivia. So, what do you do around here? Are you like an event coordinator here?
No, I just do it for fun. I'm a regular here, and they kind of asked me if I wanted to take over it on Monday nights, and I said, sure, why not?
Awesome. You know, we love to see the regulars get involved. It shows a real strength in the community, being able to have the members of your bar be able to lead your events. Like, I've always hosted open mics for the bars that I go out to, or, even like we did on Valentine's Day this year, we did the Newlyweds game. We did that on Valentine's Day, and we had it like a game show. So it's always fun, you get to do fun stuff like that. And you have really good questions. I was listening there. I was like, man, I wish I was playing because I probably would have killed it.
Look, it took a long time to get the questions right, because sometimes I think people are smarter than they are. I think they're dumber than they are, okay? Same
You're
for
here
myself.
first.
Same for myself. I'll be reading them, and I'm like, I don't think I know that, or ever knew that, or ever will, so pass.
That's awesome. I like that you guys. So obviously, you have to be creative when it comes to to trivia. And you had a whole St. Patty's Day round, which is really cool.
Yeah.
And some of those questions, I didn't get to hear the answer to this one, so maybe you can let me know. How do you spell St. Patty's?
Well, the short-term one,
Yeah.
it's P-A-D-D-Y, not T-T.
Really?
Yep.
Wow, I see. I would have gotten that wrong. I mean, that's pretty cool because, that's one of those questions you get asked, and you're like, dang, it could be either one of them.
I know.
Like asking me to spell. Oh gosh, there's a word that I hate to spell. Chief.
Chief, C-H-I-E-F?
See, I thought it was I-E. Wait, you say E-I-F or
No,
I-E-F?
it's I-E-F, isn't it? Now you have me
See?
second-guessing
See?
myself.
It's
Oh
a
my
hard
God.
question.
Okay.
Or there's another one that
I'm
always
not
gets
educated or anything.
asked. Mississippi.
M-I-S-S-I-P-P-I. That's when we're in grade school. They make you
Okay,
memorize
but
it like
some people like me never paid attention until
like a
they got to their
poem.
senior year. No. Well,
Maybe.
I mean, villain.
Maybe.
Villain and vanilla. I get those two. Or no, villain. Villain's right. How do you spell villain?
V-I-L-L-I-A-N.
I think it's Villallain.
Thank you, college. Maybe I have something right. Okay.
Wait, you were right? Ah, damn. See, okay, yeah. See, okay. There's one thing that you're gonna learn here is Mikey is notoriously wrong 85% of the time. That's why I usually follow up with, I think I'm right about this, but probably not. This is what I think.
That's okay. I misspell the most simple of terms, so at least yours are like complicated and long. They're not like 4 letters.
Well, I do have some questions for you here. So I don't know if this is something that you're or versed in, but we asked, which would you prefer more, LaCroix or Liquid Death?
Well, seeing as I gave up carbonated beverages about 5 years ago, however, I do like the Liquid Death, the tea, the mixed one, the Arnold,
Yes.
the Arnold Palmer. What is it? It's Arnold. Oh, I forget what they
Let me see
called
what they
it.
call it.
It's got like a funny name to it, but it's pretty good.
Death, Arnold, Palmer, lawsuit. That's always great.
Oh, great.
It's called Armless Palmer.
Armless Palmer.
That's
yeah,
awesome.
that one's really good.
You know, I love. We were telling Lauren, I love the creativity in the names. Like, it's super cool. We do that a lot with every episode. So we did an episode in Daytona Beach at a place called Rad Kava, and we called the episode Breaking Rad. So it's just like
Love
fun
it.
stuff like that. We try to make it as
cute.
much fun. This one, we're gonna keep it simple. We got best cup of coffee. The world's best cup of coffee, because it makes me
Did they
think
tell
of.
you the story behind that?
Yeah, they got it
Okay,
made,
yeah.
and then they
For
didn't
the
even
skit?
have it.
I know, we didn't even do it. We were like filming, we had people walking in and out like, well, it's the best cup of Kava, acting like Will Ferrell, and it didn't even go anywhere.
That's
It's
what
so
I was
funny.
saying. I literally
Yeah,
think
cool
of Will
sign,
Ferrell.
though.
Congratulations! Great job, you guys.
Yep.
I love Elf. Elf is one of my favorite movies. Even not just Christmas.
I love Will
favorite
Ferrell.
movies. But we are gonna ask a couple questions. So you said, which one would you prefer more?
Liquid Death.
Liquid Death. You
Yeah, I
can't
don't
go
really
wrong.
drink anything
It
carbonated
murders your
anymore.
thirst. I mean, with a phrase like with a catchphrase like that, how could you not want it?
It's catchy.
I also, like, you've been you help out here. How long have you been in this community? I can't remember if I asked you.
Oh, God. It's been at least 3, probably pushing 4 years. I used to work across the street at the courthouse, actually.
Really? That's a
And
beautiful courthouse.
I used to come over here on my lunch break every single day, and then after work a lot too. And then I just kind of started coming here often. I go to Island Route a lot. It's right
Love
by my
Island Route.
height.
I actually literally
right by
have
my house.
Island Route on my shoulder.
Oh crap! I didn't even notice
So
that.
this tattoo is it's called "Remember Your Roots," and this isn't
that's
just
sick.
people from the Kava, from Island Route. These are all the people in the Kava community that got me to where I am today in my career, my music, and the Kava community. And whether or not I talk to these people 10, 20, 30 years down the road,
Yeah, it's so
you have to remember
important.
where you come from, remember your roots. So it all comes out of the Kava plant,
That's cool.
and all their names are
That's
roots.
very unique. I like it a lot.
But I love this community. I mean, that's the reason why we come out here, and we
You know,
do these
this
things.
community reconnected me with one of my old friends.
Really?
And now we're like pretty much best friends. Yeah.
That's
From
awesome.
like 2010 or 11.
Really?
We were in the same sorority. We were in the same rush class or group or whatever you want to call it. And we were sitting on opposite ends of the bar, and we looked over and I was like, Sam? And she was just like, Amanda? And I was like, oh God.
That's how I felt, because I was part of like a frat, kind of like an unofficial frat in college, and a lot of the people gave up alcohol once they got out of college, and I saw them at the Kava bar, and now they're some of our regulars and at our studio, and we love to see it. Like, seeing people, you know, one thing we don't like to do is shame people for drinking alcohol.
Yeah.
If you are safe with it, you're responsible, you're not abusing it, and you're safe to yourself and safe to others, you know.
Yeah,
If that's your vice, man, that's
Yeah.
your vice, and as long as you're not abusing it, all the
Yeah.
power to you. But
Well,
you
it
know,
comes
I
down
just
to
don't
the
like
disease
yeah.
aspect of addiction too. So.
You know, we're very cautious, and one thing we preach is, you know, moderation. Even in this community, you have to have moderation.
Yeah.
Because if you drink too much kava, you get dehydrated. And I say, you know, anything can be addictive if you don't moderate it. Because if it becomes a part of your regular routine, you start to mindlessly do something.
Well, anything can be addictive to a person. There's a such thing
Yeah.
as being addicted to working out,
Yeah,
being
working
addicted
out,
to this,
soda,
being addicted to that. It's
you
a
know.
transfer addiction for a lot of people. A lot of people that suffer from the disease of addiction suffer from transfer addiction. A lot of people who've had bariatric surgery suffer from transfer addiction. They just take one thing and put it onto another. So you have to be mindful and very self-aware.
We that's one thing we like to say as well is why would you trade one bad habit for another? And just, you know, we always say the sign of a good bar is a bar that knows, it's like especially a kava bar that knows to not overserve.
Yeah.
Because
It's
you know,
everywhere.
the last thing you want somebody to do is come in here and throw up.
Yeah.
Because I mean, I've seen it time and time again. People drink too
I've
much
done
kava.
it.
Or, yeah.
I've done it.
You
I
know,
drank
it
too much
happens.
kava one night and I was like, oh.
One time I mixed my Kava and my Kratom too much. I had like equal amount and a lot, and I never drink too much like Kava or Kratom. But that night it was kind of, I think it might have been a lock-in, so I just wasn't really even thinking.
Yeah.
It was just such a long period of time. I wasn't keeping track, and I threw up. I threw up once I got home. It was one of those things where I went to bed, woke up 30 minutes later. I was like, oh my gosh, and I threw up, and I was like, that's when I realized like I gotta be more careful with this. I gotta be. I don't drink a lot.
Be
And that's,
self-aware.
well, Mandy, we really appreciate you coming up here and talking to us. We're glad to see that we. That's our favorite part of this show is bringing people on that are members of the bar that we're at.
I love this place. This place and then the Island Root PSL by my house are like second homes to me. So
That's the way to do it. Thank you so much, Mandy.
thanks,
Keep on
guys.
rocking.
I followed too.
Boom, we love having a follower. All right, Jacob. Boom. Alrighty.
Let me pull up my little list.
Well, we're going to be transitioning into our next segment we like to call Inner Brews, where we interview significant members of the community. And anytime we go out to a guest kava bar, we like to invite the owners and the people that make this happen get to share their stories.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
luckily for us, we always have 3 questions for this segment, and we have 3 people that we can talk to today.
Awesome.
So
Perfect.
we're going to be having each one of them get up here individually, answer a single question. But we'll start out with Kyla. Kyla? Alrighty. So we are joined here by Kyla. Kyla, what is your role here at Rooted Reef?
I am one of the owners. There's 3 owners, so me, Ashley, and Roy, who you'll meet in a minute. So one of
Awesome.
the owners.
You were the first person I talked to here outside of the kava tenders like Tanner, and I was just really excited to see you excited about having us out here. It's a lot to invite somebody in. This is pretty much your home. Like inviting somebody into your home and getting to interview the people that make your kava bar because we always say a kava bar is like a church. It's not the building that's a kava bar, it's the people that make it up. We love getting to see the people that make up your kava bar. I think I see somebody with a cat backpack or a pet backpack. That's awesome. I get easily distracted. That's one of my quirks here. That's what I bring to the table, is easily distracted. But yeah. But Kyla, you are one of the owners. How long has Rooted Reef been here for?
So
I never know what to tell people.
We started renting this place and building it out in 2020, probably August 2020.
Oh wow, you guys are fairly new.
Yeah. And then we opened November of 2021.
Awesome. Well, so what? That puts you almost at 5 years, almost.
4.
Or 4 years. Yeah. See, not good at math. Lauren's the brains. Lauren's the cybersecurity officer over here. She's Mr. Knowledge. That was all about that coding stuff. I'm just here because I'm great at talking nonstop.
You are good at talking.
But we're gonna get you talking a little bit. One thing we like to see is like you just had a trivia night here.
We did.
Keeping people involved is really important. But how do you keep things from getting stale at the kava bar?
So because of the community, it makes it really easy because we just have customers and outside businesses that come to us, and we love integrating with the community. So we love opening up to whatever ideas other people have. For instance, someone approached us about a skate night one time, and we were like,
That would be awesome.
yeah, that would be cool. So we threw this huge skate event. I mean, they brought ramps, they lit a fire, and they were skating, jumping over the
That's
fire.
so sick. I
we
love
had
skateboarding.
bands. Dude, it was so awesome. So we did it again because it was that awesome. What else? Another customer was like, I would love to have like a dance night, so we had to figure out the best way to get people drinking kava to actually dance because
I always feel like I'm a better line dancer when I'm drinking kava. I won't line dance whenever I'm not drinking kava.
Can we see it?
Give me some shells and maybe by the end of the episode we'll see some. I used to be a dancer and a cheerleader my whole life, so like it kicks in naturally, but I was in a car accident, so like a lot of my muscle memory is all off, but it's weird. Like my brain disconnects after a while. Like once I feel a good song going and I have some kava in me, it just naturally comes back and I start moving. I love it. One thing we want to do is back in Melbourne, we want to do a line dancing night. Teach people how to do line dancing classes.
Cool. Can you do that here too?
Dude, we'll come down. We'll do Breaking Brews line dancing.
Line dancing
We'll do
edition.
something. Breaking Bulls line dancing. There we go.
That would be awesome. That would be cool.
But yeah, you seem everybody here knows you. Everybody here loves you. I mean, whenever we walked in, everybody was talking with you. You seem to be a pretty big fan favorite here. We love getting to see the people that are working behind the scenes. And it seems like you're behind the scenes and in front of the camera a lot. So
that's all the owners. I'm super lucky because I have 2 business partners that are just awesome.
you can't be antisocial in a Kava bar.
No.
It's impossible. Like, even if you think you're an introvert, you come to a Kava bar. It's funny. There was a girl that I became friends with in September of last year, and she came in, didn't say anything to anybody for like a week and a half, and she would just sit there with her sister and her friend, and they would just like kind of keep to themselves. And after, I'd say maybe a month of being there, she was more social than me, which is saying a lot, but that helped her get out of her shell. And especially this, like Lauren, up until the second we hit record on our first episode, she was so nervous about being on camera, and she's a natural. She's super natural at it, and she's really big on social media. I was like, it's really no different than taking pictures. I mean, very rarely do we actually look at the camera. It's almost weird to look at the camera now because you don't. I mean, we're talking to them, and like there's parts where we talk directly to the audience.
Yeah.
But whenever we have people on, it's just there's no sense. Like you're not even looking at it. It would be weird to look over at the camera. Like
Yeah,
even
I feel
doing this
weird
now,
when I
like
look over,
I'm like.
just stare at it for a second. Okay.
Well,
All right.
Kyla, is there anything you'd like to let people know? Like maybe you have an event coming up, like something big coming up here at the bar?
Let's see. We just went through our Mindfulness Fest, which was back in January. So we love
What's all that about?
Mindfulness Fest. Kind of like we want to challenge our customers and set them up for the new year. So we'll challenge them by doing fire walks. This year we did a fire walk and an ice bath. And a lot of people actually got into the ice bath and did the fire walk, and it was...
Well, let us know next time you do that, because I've always wanted to walk on fire. So.
Yeah?
Dude, I want to do it. I'm just
Okay.
We'll come out here. We'll film it. We'll do a little Instagram reel.
Let's do it. That would be awesome.
Well, we appreciate you talking with us.
Maggie.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
Welcome on.
Thank you.
Go ahead and introduce yourself to the viewers out there.
My name's Roy Hernandez. I'm one of the owners here at Rooted Reef Kava Bar.
So, your question will be, you were voted the #1 Kava bar in the Treasure Coast. What do you think helped earn your bar that title?
I think the community had a big impact on winning that title.
Yeah, for sure.
We do a lot with outside of just the Kava Bar, where we sponsor a lot of events. We do a lot of things outside of here.
Yeah, that's super duper important, just being
Yeah.
involved not only in your own Kava bar, but as well as being involved outside of your own community.
Absolutely.
For
yeah,
sure.
So there was a lot of people that helped us get to that point.
Yeah,
Which
I
is
see you
awesome.
guys also tie in some of the community into your bar. You have a lot of like artists work up here. Is there anything else special that the community has done for your bar?
I would say, yeah, there's definitely a lot that the community has done for us. Not just building our name and making us become an amazing place, but the community is part of the family. And so
Yeah, definitely.
every time you come in here, you could talk to anybody and it'll make you feel like you've known them for a long time.
Yeah, no, I've been to so many Kava bars, and a lot of Kava bars instantly make you feel like at home and
Absolutely.
just a part and included. But as soon as I walked in, I definitely noticed when we were setting up and stuff, everybody was just talking with one another.
Yeah.
It was like one big happy family gathering.
Absolutely.
It's beautiful to see. Is there anything up and coming and special? Or actually, hold on, I'll save that because I think that's part of the next question
Okay.
on what's next for the Rue de Reef. Is there anything else you'd like to share? How did you guys get started? I'd love to hear that.
So we got started. We did a trip, the three of us, and we were out in Georgia in the mountains, and we kind of just spitballed the idea. And when we got back, we just randomly came and looked at this location and fell in love with it immediately. And
Yeah, it's a prime location. We, like Mikey said earlier, we walked downtown. It was absolutely beautiful. We saw the marina.
Oh yeah.
It's very clean. It's very lively. It's a really great place to come and visit.
Thank you.
Sure.
Thank you. And yeah, one of the biggest things that really caught our eye about this place was the big octopus mural on the patio. And we had already had our name picked out, and so.
Oh, so that
it
was
kind
here
of
before you
worked
guys
out.
even got here. That's
Yeah.
awesome. Yeah, because so was that some inspiration into like why you have your bar theme the way it is currently?
We actually had the name picked out before we even came and looked at the building.
Okay, so
and
you're like, this is perfect.
was
This is
like
the sign.
Yeah, it was like match made.
Yeah.
Came out awesome though.
That's awesome. Well, you guys have done such a great job with decorating it. I even see the lights up there have rope, like very nautical.
Oh yeah.
I love the wood and just all the artwork is absolutely beautiful. And I love how you guys still tie in plants and like kind of a bohemian feel as well.
Yeah, very homey,
And-
very relaxing, and
Yeah, I feel like most Kava bars I see outside, you have a great patio space. A lot of people really appreciate the outdoors.
oh yeah.
And just being able to get fresh air. You know, they like to come here after work. What inspired you guys to create that patio? Was it that mural?
Definitely had a lot to do with it. It's a really cool, relaxing patio with the greenery and the murals and the Edison bulb lights, and it just makes it feel like a very relaxing environment. And we do a lot of our events outside too.
Oh, really? Okay. I love the fireplaces. That's such a nice touch. I only know one other Kava bar besides you guys that actually has fire pits.
Really?
Yeah, and that's something people just always enjoy, you know, just being out even in their own yard by the fire. And it's quite chilly, so I did see quite a few people using it out there tonight. But what do you typically host outside?
So we do our open mic nights every Wednesday night. That's typically on the patio.
Oh, that's nice.
And then
That's super nice.
all of our, like Friday nights, we do our flow night, which is the fire spinning and fire dancing.
Yeah,
and
yeah. Flow night is crazy. I remember the first time I ever, like, I didn't even know what flow was. I was driving down O'Galley in Melbourne, and it was Island Route, and outside in their grass, there was just this girl spinning fire. As I was driving by, I was like, holy shit, like, what is that? So that's super cool that you guys still have that, because I think a lot of Kava bars got rid of their flow night, or the people just didn't have time to host it as much anymore.
So actually, in our area, the Treasure Coast, there are a lot of Kava bars used to do flow night, and there was a period in time where no Kava bars were doing it. And
Yeah.
we like to think that we had a big part in reigniting the flow night scene again.
Yeah.
So we were pretty much the first to kick it back off, and now I think most of the Kava bars here are doing a
Yeah, it's
flow
great
night of
to
some
see,
sort.
and I feel like there are a lot of people in the community who love flow and love raves,
Absolutely.
and that also enjoy coming to Kava bars. But thank you so much. It was great to interview you.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah, of course. Okay. That is one of the coolest sweatshirts I've ever seen. Honestly, like coolest merch.
Thank you.
I like it's like kind of like tied. It looks like the ocean
Yeah.
from above.
Well, tie-dye never goes out of fashion.
Yeah.
So it's one of those
And
you
I
can
love
put your
the
logo
color.
on.
The color choice is almost like ink, like
Thank
from
you.
a squid or something. That's awesome.
It's one of my favorites, for
Yeah.
sure.
Okay, go ahead and introduce yourself to the viewers, and then I'll kind of segue into the question.
Awesome. Hi. How close should I be to the mic?
Oh, no, it's okay.
Okay.
It can
All right,
pick
sweet.
up from really far away, so if you even want to like lean back in the seat, you're fine.
My name's Ashley. I am one of the 3 owners of Rooted Reef.
Well, it's great to have you on, and it's great to have everybody else on and hear from them as well. So your question is, what's next for the Rooted Reef?
What is next? It's a tough question because, you know, we spent so much time. I know Roy touched on it a little bit about
Yes.
how we got started and for
Spending time in the community
yeah,
and being really involved.
yeah, and I think it's one of those things, and I think a lot of people that go to Kava bars can relate. When you sit at a Kava bar, a lot of people dream of opening a Kava bar.
They do.
So, you know, when we finally got to do it and land just so organically, and have a place like this. It's hard to see, anything kind of topping this, what we've created here. And so I think for us, we've really wanted to hone in on what we're doing and the vibe that we're setting and the community that we're growing, and not rush the process.
Yeah,
and so,
I think that's insanely important, because I can't tell you, just not even Kava bars, but how many businesses rush to expand before they even have their foundation and home base like completely done and finished and like moved into, and like they get more experience just being in the whole Kava bar community and industry. They just, as soon as they start making money, they just keep trying to expand. And rapid growth isn't always the best thing to do. So it's really nice to hear that you guys want to just settle into it and make sure you have a good foundation before continuing on to something bigger on your adventure.
Yeah. And I think when we do, we'll be 100% ready to, and confident with the brand and the vibe that we've set here, and not necessarily that we would want to replicate it, because when you build something so special and unique, I think individuality is important. And so when you do open, let's say it's 20 locations, do you want
the same vibe
everything to be the same, and I think it goes based off where are you putting it. I mean, Fort Pierce, Florida is so different than, you guys are from Brevard County?
Brevard, yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, if we put one in Brevard County, you guys have a different vibe up there.
Yeah, for sure. That's awesome to hear business owners say that, because there's probably only one other Kava bar who just recently opened up their own, Pauhana, as you guys know.
I've been there.
Their home base is kind of like, how would you describe? Kind of like a jungle, very vibey.
Yeah.
But then
kind of like rainforest feel.
Recently, they just opened one a little bit down south, but they made it like nautical, like sailor themed, which is really awesome. But I feel like when places expand, they typically just replicate, like you're saying. But it's nice to cater to the people, have something different, because at the end of the day, the people in your community will travel around, and they want to see something new or go to something new. They don't always want to go to the same bar.
Yeah, and I think having, obviously having your staple drinks is important,
Yes.
your brand, your logo, but adding more pull from the community that you're in, because I think it'll be more relatable. And I think if you're trying to grow within that community, if we opened up in, I know Roy mentioned Georgia. Georgia, it would pull such a different community, but
For sure.
but we'd want to work within the people that are living there and grew up there, and be able to relate to them and
see what
and
they
cater
would
to
be
them.
interested in.
Yeah, for sure.
That's really great. So I have to say, I know you guys are setting your foundation first, but where would you like to see your business in about 10 to 15 years? Do you have any idea, or like dreams or goals? It can't even be something crazy, I just always ask this question because as we continue this podcast, it'd be nice to come back here and interview you guys again.
10 years from
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
I think one thing we all have in common, even stemming from that trip we all took, we're all very outdoorsy people. And so whether Roy was a big surfer, I love, hikes in the woods,
Yes.
and we both hunt a little bit. And
That's awesome. I love to hunt too.
Yeah. Oh, heck yeah. Conservation, and we've worked with a couple companies and nonprofits for conservation. And so whatever we do, we know that we want to tie it back. And I know I keep saying the word community, but there's so many communities.
Like give back to the people and just nature.
And nature. So I think, if I could see a place that 10 years from now, we've built incredible communities. We've been a part of fostering them, and looking back on, we made an impact in whatever that is. So I don't know if that looks like 10 Kava bars. I don't know if that looks like we've talked about getting 100 acres and having a dog rescue with a Kava bar there.
Awesome. No,
So
I was
just fun
thinking,
stuff.
like, imagine doing an animal rescue, or just like even an aviary, or you know, like have butterflies and people can come and sit down at an outdoor bar, and, like when the weather's cool and nice, like maybe only have it be a seasonal bar.
Yeah.
And they can just go and enjoy that in like a beautiful garden surrounded by animals.
Some bungalows on it.
Yeah,
It can
I would
stay
absolutely
and-
love that.
Yeah.
Yeah, or like a cat cafe. But
I love that.
Kavas and cats.
There is, yeah. Yeah, they're
Do
in
they have cats
Port
in
St.
the bar?
Lucie.
Well, they have a lot of cat. We're actually going to do an episode there, like, in a couple of weeks.
That is wild.
Yeah, but that would be awesome. Like having a cat cafe, but like cats and Kava.
Dogs,
That'd be
cats,
sweet.
I think the birds, the butterflies, I
Yeah.
think something like that. And
That'd be beautiful.
I think it's all therapeutic. It comes down to, you know, fostering a place that makes people feel good and, you know, everybody can be themselves and you know, animals are obviously very therapeutic. That's why you see so many people bring their dogs, cats, birds. I've seen snakes in here, you know.
Yeah.
I've gone to other Kava bars and someone had their chameleon with them.
That's
and
awesome.
it's like, okay, that's what makes them feel good. So they're
Yeah.
going to bring it with them.
Yeah, and I know other people just love to see it too.
Yeah.
But thank you so much for coming on.
Yeah,
It
it
was
was
great
nice
to
to
talk
meet
to you
you.
guys. I appreciate you guys having us on. We really appreciate it.
Thank you for coming.
Alrighty. Well, we are back, and my favorite part of the show is getting to see and meet the people who make this community grow. I always feel like I do a lot of talking, so I wanted this episode for you to do a lot more talking, and I let you
I feel
kind of
like
get
this was a good episode. This was a good interview for sure. It's always great to hear from business owners.
Well, we're going to get into our third and final topic, or our third and final round. This is what we like to call breaking barriers, where we break down the barrier between podcast hosts and just members of the community, because I hate to always see these people who run podcasts. They hold themselves like they're some kind of celebrity, some kind of big shot, and honestly, we're just dudes and gals. We just exist. We're no one special. We just happen to have an idea to talk to people about something we're passionate about. It doesn't make us unique or special. We just as normal as everybody else, and we're really we do this segment just to welcome you into our bars, or maybe the bar that we're at, and just feel like you're talking with a friend. And we just talk about our personal lives here, and it's a lot of fun. Lauren, we let Lauren take the lead on this one.
Oh yeah. So I don't know, maybe I touched on this before I left, but I went to Chicago to go visit our great friend Fred. He's been on the podcast the year before. Yeah. He's about to move to DC, so I was like, you know what? I love Chicago so much. I'm going to go back there. Yeah, get another trip in before he moves away. He was born and raised there, so his family will always be there, so we can go and visit whenever. But I don't know, I just really wanted to have a good time, and this band I'm really interested in called Catch Your Breath was there. So I had to make it out because Orlando sold out, and I literally had it on my calendar for 3 months, and I just never bought the tickets. And I was like, oh, I'm going to go buy my ticket. It's coming up. Sold out. I was like, dang. I was like, well, I was supposed to go see Fred for spring break, so I called him up. I was like, Fred, they're coming to Chicago. I can come see you and see one of my favorite bands at the same time. But I was really, really, really hoping to see snow because I've never been in snow before. But while I was there, it unfortunately didn't snow, which was very sad. But 2 days later, after I left, as it always goes, it snowed. But yeah, I had a great time. Went to 3 different concerts while I was out there. The first one was called, I'm trying to remember, Model/Actress. It was something else. Yeah. We were in this giant theater, and I guess the theater is free for all. So they'll host events. I don't know if it's monthly or weekly, but the whole community can go for free.
That's pretty cool.
And amazing talent. And I would describe the genre, we talked about this earlier, as like indie rock / fusion, but it was also like mixed with a drag show because the singer literally came out onto stage wearing like a boa in a purse, and then he just takes an actual banana out of the purse and he just starts peeling it, and then he eats it, and then he like throws it, and then he pulls out like a bottle of liquor and just starts drinking. And like, mind you that these people have over like 200,000 listeners on Spotify. Like, they are really great. And I was like, Fred, you need to pinch me right now. Like, am I hallucinating? What is going on?
What is going
because he
on?
was just such a diva. But the instrumentals, the singing, his vocals were insane. At some points, he'd just be, sing some like indie style, and then he'd throw like a metalcore scream in there and just like go from high to low pitch really seamlessly. And everybody was vibing. They were like just jumping all around, having a great time. So that was definitely, that kicked off my first night in Chicago for sure. And trying to remember we went to more of an open mic, like an actual jazz show, something that the community was more involved with some of his friends. And we went to a wine bar, had a little bit of like wine tasting. And then that was just a great like sell night, because the next night was the Catch Your Breath concert. I was really going there for them, and there's this great band called If Not For Me. Mm-hmm. They're younger. They're like around my age, or maybe like 2 years younger than me. But if you love metalcore or hardcore, they're definitely one to go and look at and give a listen to. And then I almost missed my flight back home.
How'd you do that?
I set about 5 alarms, actually, because it was an early morning flight. Like, I was prepared to wake up at 3:30 in the morning. Yeah. And just, like, make sure I was ready and take the train to the airport. Yeah. And so I wake up, and I look at my phone, and it's 5 a.m.
Oh, gosh.
And I was like, holy shit, I need to go, because my flight, I think, was at, like, 7:30.
Oh, my gosh.
And
you partied too hard.
no, it was the Apple iPhone glitch, because I woke up a few minutes before 5 a.m. And I know for a fact, like, I literally was on my app, like in my alarm clock app, and I saw like, okay, here's my 5 o'clock alarm. It hit 5 o'clock.
Are you sure you didn't set like maybe for 5 p.m.?
No, because I checked it, because that's my first thought is, oh my god,
because I hate when that happens. That
no,
sucks.
I literally was watching it. It hit 5 a.m. My phone did not go off a ring. It was the iPhone glitch, and of course it worked like the day I needed to fly out. But I immediately like hit an Uber. The Uber was 1 minute away. Jumped in, told him I'm like running late. Went to the airport. The coolest.
Fast and the Furious, so.
Basically, went to the airport. I threw my my luggage on this like self-check-in because I needed something to go under the plane. Yeah. And I'll tell you what, Spirit Airlines, you probably hate Spirit, but the bag self-check-in was the craziest thing I'd ever seen in my life. Like, I would just scan my ID or ticket on my phone. It would print me out a ticket. Walk over, scan the ticket, throw my bag on the conveyor belt. The conveyor belt would weigh it, size it, and do everything for you, like, instantly, and then it would just send it away. Huh. And then that took about 10 minutes. Got in line for TSA, ordered my Starbucks on my app, grabbed my Starbucks, went to the bathroom.
My girl Starbucks.
And then literally walked onto the plane, and I was off.
Okay. It's not that I don't like Spirit Airlines. Because I won. I think I talked about this on the podcast before. I won like a free trip anywhere that Spirit Airlines goes, anywhere I want in the world.
That's awesome.
At least that Spirit goes to. Mm-hmm. I won a free round trip ticket.
Wow.
On St. Patrick's Day.
Really?
On St. Patrick's Day, because it was mind you, this was years ago. Yeah. But I sat in the lucky seat for St. Patrick's Day. It was a middle seat, and it's like you might feel like you're unlucky because you're sitting in the middle seat, but you just won a free trip anywhere you want. And I think I wasted it. I think I went to, like, Pennsylvania. Like, I love Pennsylvania, don't get me wrong. I love my pitties. But I think I went to either Pennsylvania or maybe Georgia. I was like, I should have used that to go to, like, California.
See, I don't mind flying Spirit when it's not... If it's 2 to 3 hours, I'll fly Spirit any day. It's either Spirit or Delta. There's no in between. Because when you tell me you can get a $60 to $80 flight round trip... I'm going, especially for a weekend trip. I'm just like bringing a bag with me. That's so cheap, you can't beat it. Not even the other budget airlines can beat that price. And I've flown Spirit. They like to take their time and dilly-dally around, or not Spirit, Delta. Whereas
I like Delta.
As you get on Delta,
might be the cheapest flight you can get, but there's a reason why it's the cheapest flight.
No, I'm talking about Delta. Delta.
Yeah, maybe I'm thinking. Well, no, Delta's notoriously bad though too.
So Delta is the one that dilly-dallies around, and I feel like they can be delayed. But whereas Spirit never delayed, your flight's always on time, and
I've had some.
And
I've had a couple bad experiences with
well,
Spirit, but not as much as like with Frontier
I don't
Delta.
mind it because they have all brand new aircrafts
I was like Southwest
that I've flown on so far, and like you get on, they're playing nice, soothing music. Find your seat, and they are go, go, go. And I appreciate that because I do not like sitting in an aircraft longer than I have to.
Either JetBlue or Southwest is probably my favorite airline.
I haven't flown Southwest, but I'm trying. I hate Frontier. The last couple of times I've flown with them, my flight's been delayed an hour or two, and they actually kicked off a couple one time. Granted, like this couple needed to be kicked off. They were just like causing a scene.
I've seen some pretty bad. I used to fly a lot as a kid. I've seen some
But
pretty bad
it
flights.
delayed us an extra hour, just like getting the couple off. Spirit doesn't mess around.
Yeah. And you know, it's just if you're gonna fly, man, everybody else is kind of stressed out, whether or not they admit it. Everybody's
Yeah.
always stressed out, bro. Do not ruin my trip.
Yeah, yeah. And it's like our flight was already delayed for an hour, and you're going to sit here and be petty and delay us even longer. The captain actually came out, basically told them to get off the plane, and we took off with their luggage underneath. We were over it. He's like, they can figure out how to get it back home.
That's crazy. That's gangster.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, it's gonna be a lot of fun.
Yeah. It has.
I want to see Fred soon. I think me and him talked recently. We might do something soon.
I think we should go to DC, honestly, and do something out
I
there.
would love to go to DC.
I've never been to DC.
I went when I was younger. Let's totally do it.
Yeah,
Let's set it
I
up.
love historical stuff. I love museums. I just think it would be something on my, not necessarily on my bucket list, but something I definitely want
I like
to go
history.
do.
I like to see some of the historical
Yeah.
stuff. Like see the Lincoln Memorial as a grown up and the Washington Monument.
I just want to get a feel
The
for the
pool.
city, you know? And I'm sure we can find some kava bars out there.
I wonder if there is, because it's one of those. It's like what do they call it? You're pretty smart, Jake. What's it called? What's Washington? You. Yeah, you. What is? Okay, well you're in the military. You know what it is. So what is the Washington D.C. considered? I mean, like what kind of territory is it considered? Because it's not a state, but it's
just so. Yeah, you're right. It's a commonwealth.
Commonwealth. That's what it is.
It's the Metro DC area, so it's a mix between.
Oh, thank you so much.
You rock.
DMV, because you have Maryland, Virginia,
Yeah.
West Virginia. It's kind of like blocked right around there. It is its own little entity.
Well, I'm gonna get into my topic. One thing that's been really fun is, and we're gonna get into this in our final little segment, is for the last couple days, I've been wanting to put music out for a while, and this is news to Jake, and he'll find out as I say this, but I've been recording. We have now officially, nice to meet you, has an official producer. He's gonna be doing all of our recording, all of our editing for our music. And what he's put out so far, Lauren heard it on the way here.
Honestly, great. And I am very picky, and I will tell you if something needs to be critiqued or like messed with or edited. Because if you're asking me, like, for my opinion,
Yeah.
and you need it, I will give it to you.
A real true friend of a musician will tell you when something sounds like crap or when something sounds like good. You don't
And
want somebody to tell you whenever it's good all the time, especially
You
if
don't
it's
want
not.
them to white lie.
Because it's only harming me.
Yeah.
if
Like,
I'm
how are
not
you going
doing
to
better.
progress as an artist if somebody is just telling you what
I'm
you
sure-
want to hear?
I'm sure Jacob knows all about that. Because he's a great artist. I love Jacob. Jacob sends me his music all the time.
But yeah, I immediately heard it, and I said, Mikey, this honestly sounds like something that would go viral. And I mean it.
So
It was
we're
really
gonna be putting in the time and the effort for this. It's gonna be a lot of fun. This song that I'm gonna release first is gonna be a single, no correlation to the album, but I'm really excited to see how the response to it. I'm really excited to see how that goes. But on the note of talking that, for our last topic, I'm just gonna kind of put it out there. We are changing our format completely. Starting April 7th, we're going to be transitioning out of being a podcast and transitioning into a late night show. But Breaking Brews is going to be expanding 5 times over. We're going to be adding new content. Not like we'll still have the Breaking Brews podcast. or it's not going to be called Breaking Brews Podcast. It's just going to be called Breaking Brews. And that's going to be the network. Is we're going to have late night, or Breaking Brews Late Night will be kind of the name of this series that we do here.
Yes.
Breaking Brews is going to be the channel and the network. But we're going to be bringing on 4 new people, or 4 new shows, 5 new shows to be a part of this network. We're going to have a completely in Spanish, 0 English style show, and that's going to be with a buddy of ours. The guy who's doing our production now, his name is Louis. He's from Canada. He came all the way down here, and he's doing production stuff. We're going to be doing a how-to series with him on how to make your own music, how to record,
awesome,
how to get into music, stuff like that. Then we're going to have a sports channel where it's going to be a friend of ours, Kimani, and he's going to be leading that. And it's all going to be a huge network of different content. So if maybe you guys are watching this and you really like this, we're going to have more content for you guys. Or if you're somebody watching from the future and you're part of the show and maybe Kava Kratom isn't your thing, we respect everybody, and maybe you want to watch something that's not centered around Kava Kratom, you can go and watch the show about sports, or if you're someone who's Hispanic culture and you want to get more in touch with that, we'll have a Spanish show.
That's really nice.
And it's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to have a show that's all about music called Sweet Tunes. It's going to be Sweet, T-E-W-N-S, because my last name is Tu. And it's going to be us, kind of like a reality show, but not really. But it's us seeing what it takes to start from the bottom and work your way up to, getting where you want to be with your goals, and especially in the music community. And it's going to be all the guys, as well as Lauren, being a part of this. So we'll have Miguel, we'll have Louis, we'll have Kimani, me, Lauren, and it'll just be seeing what it's like to live almost like a daily vlog kind of.
Yeah,
But it's we're gonna be cutting our episodes down, maybe 2 episodes of this a month, so that way it gives us more time to put out good quality content for you guys. And we'll have close to like 3 episodes a week of all of our content.
That's going to be awesome to see.
It's going to be really cool. It's going to be the Breaking Brews Network, and I'm really excited to see what comes out of it. But we'll have Jacob play us out while we kind of give our farewell. We'll have us all
thank
talking.
you so much, Jacob.
Yeah, we have Jacob. Remember, his stuff is JD Music. Seriously, I mean, without him, we wouldn't have been able to do this. Jacob, you can play if you'd like to. Yeah, play, and we're gonna just talk us out of this. Without Jacob, we wouldn't have been able to come out here. Without the wonderful, gracious, the owners, it's seriously, without them, we wouldn't have an interview portion. We wouldn't even be able to come out here. The drinks have been amazing.
Yeah.
I think for sure other Kava bars, the hospitality is amazing. And I think a lot of Kava bars are going to have a lot to compete against here. They're pretty much hitting. I had their Kava. Their Kava is super smooth. It is, Kava is not the best, but I mean, it was pretty strong. Mm-hmm. Tasted good. The mocktails taste great.
Yeah, these mocktails are strong.
Impeccable. I mean, I was telling Roy, like, we've been out to a couple places. We've been out to Mad Hat, or we've been out to Speakeasy. Mm-hmm. But collectively, there's just so many parts that make this thing go.
Yes.
And
the atmosphere is unmatched.
Yeah, you really can't beat it. Again, shout out to Rooted Reef. Shout out to Lauren and Rosaline. They've been taking really good care of us on the bar. Thanks for Mandy. Thanks for, I'm going to put a little clip in here. I was talking to a guy. Oops, didn't mean to hit that. I was talking to a guy outside named Manny, and he's pretty much my doppelganger. I said, bro, I'm going to look like you in 10 years. I'll show you what this guy looks like.
Is he the other guy with the bandana?
Yes. Dude, and he looks just like me. It's awesome.
Oh my gosh,
he looks just like me. But he's so cool. Man, he's super cool. He's very into the community. He's only been in it for a year, but, it doesn't matter how long you've been in a community. You can jump right into this thing.
Yeah,
it's very welcoming, especially here. If you guys are going to check out a Kava bar for the first time, you live out in the Fort Pierce area, Port St. Lucie, come check out Rooted Reef. You really don't want to miss it.
They'll
come
make
say
you
hi
feel
to our
like
friends
home.
here. You'll see Jacob here. Jacob's a regular here. We love to see him. And thank you to Jake for coming out here and being our stand-in
Yes, thank you.
AV guy for the week. And we'll catch you guys in the next episode. This has been the Breaking Brews podcast. And I'm your host, Mikey, too.
And I'm your co-host, Lauren Olivia.
And we'll catch you guys in the next one.
Bye, guys.
Peace.